Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the sages' teachings at Kurukshetra, that is chapter 84. Canto 10 is called what? The Summum Bonum, 10th canto. Chapter 84, the sages' teachings at Kurukshetra, Rishi Upadesh, and then text 24 and 25. Yata Shayanaha Purusha Atmanam Gunatatvadhrik Nama Matendriya Bratham Nama Matre Indriya Bhatham Na Veda Rahitam Param Yevam Tva Nama Matreshu Vishayesh Indriye Haya Vishayesh Indriye Haya Vishayesh Indriye Haya Mayaya Vibramachitto Na Veda Smriti Upaplavat Smrityupaplavat Smrityupaplavat Yada Shayana Purushap Atmanam Gunatatvadrik Yata Shayana Purusha Atmanam Gunatatvadrik Nama Matre Indriya Bratham Nama Matre Indriya Bhatham Nama Matre Indriya Bhatham Na Veda Rahitam Param Nama Matrendriya Bhatham Na Veda Rahitam Param Yevam Tva Nama Matreshu Yevam Tva Nama Matreshu Vishayesh Indriye Haya Vishayesh Indriye Shaya Mayaya Vibramachitto Na Veda Smriti Upaplavat Na Veda Smriti Upaplavat Yata Shayana Purusha Atmanam Gunatatvadrik Nama Matrendriya Bhatam Na Veda Rahitam Param Yevam Tva Nama Matreshu Vishayesh Indriye Haya Mayaya Vibramachitto na veda smriti upaplavat. Yata shayana purusha atmanam gunatatvadhruk nama matre indriya bhatam na veda rahitam param. Evam tva nama matreshu Vishayeshu indriyakaya Mayaya vibramachitto na veda smriti upaplavat. Yata shayana purusha atmanam gunatatvadruk nama matre indriya bhatam na veda rahitam param. Evam tva nama matreshu vishayeshu indriyekaya mayaya vibramachitto na veda smriti upaplavat. Yata sayana purusha atmanam gunatatvadruk nama matra indriyabhatam na veda rahitam param. Evam tva nama matreshu Vishayeshu indriyekaya Vayaya vibramachitto na veda smriti upaplavat. Yata shayana purusha natmanam gunatatvadruk nama matre indriya bhatam Evam tva nama matrena vishayeshu indriyekaya mayaya vibramachitto na veda smriti upabrahma. Mothers, yada shayana purusha atmanam gunatatvadruk nama matre indriya bhatam na veda rahitam param. Evam tva nama matreshu vishayeshu indriyekaya mayaya vibramachitto na veda smriti upaplavat. Yata, as Shayana, sleeping, Purusha, a person, Atmanam, himself, Guna, secondary, Tattva, of reality, Drik, whose vision, Nama, with names, Matra, and forms, Indriya, through his mind, Abhatam, manifest, Naveda, he does not know, Rahitam, separate, Param, rather, Evam, similarly, Tva, you, Nama Matreshu, having names and forms, Vishayeshu, in objects of material perception, Indriya, of the senses, Ihaya, by the activity, Mayaya, because of the influence of your illusory energy, Vibhramat, becoming bewildered, Chitta, whose consciousness, Na Veda, one does not know, Smriti, of his memory, Upaplavat, due to the disruption. Translation: a sleeping person imagines an alternative reality for himself and seeing himself as having various names and forms, forgets his waking identity, which is distinct from the dream. Similarly, the senses of one whose consciousness is bewildered by illusion perceive only the names and forms of material objects. Thus, such a person loses his memory and cannot know you. Please repeat. A sleeping person imagines an alternative reality for himself and seeing himself as having various names and forms, forgets his waking identity, which is distinct from the dream. Similarly, the senses of one whose consciousness is bewildered by illusion perceives only the names and forms of material objects. Thus, such a person loses his memory and cannot know you. Purport. Just as a person's dream is a secondary reality created from the stock of his memories and desires, so this universe exists as an inferior creation of the Supreme Lord, in no real way separate from Him. And just as the person who awakens from sleep experiences the higher reality of his waking life, so the Supreme Lord also has distinct higher reality beyond everything we know. His own words, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina mastani sarvabhutani nachaham te shavastitah nacha mastani bhutani pashyame yoga maishwaram bhutabrun nacha bhutasto mama atma bhuta bhavana. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them, and yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everything, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Bhagavad-gita 9.4.5. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is a scene that is happening 5,000 years ago. The sages have all come to Kurukshetra, and Krishna has come and to meet him all the residents of Vrindavan have come, headed by Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda. And there the sages, when they saw the object of their penance and meditation, Sri Krishna, to be personally present, then they offer him prayers. And the first half of these prayers can be omitted because the second half is the actual thing. We don't need an example. It says, unless like a person who is sleeping, but we are sleeping. And we are dreaming. And into this dream, Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, comes either himself or in his expansions or through his appointed servants. So, the spiritual world is manifest in this temple here. We are not to think that we have gone to the spiritual world, but the spiritual world has come. We are not to think that we are seeing Krishna, but Krishna has come to see us. Therefore, the descent of the Supreme Lord in the deity form is considered his mercy and his incarnation, Archa Avatar. So, just as we have the Lord here in the deity form, and we are seeing there is no difference between the Lord in his person and the deity form. We just don't know, that's all. So, 5,000 years ago, the material creation, the dream is there. And into the dream, Krishna has come. And the sages are seeing Lord. You see? The Lord and his devotees are transcendental. Their position is far superior to the sages. Name viduhu suragana partha maharishim prabhavamscha. It's we have to hear. So this fact that we know this now, although someone like me is less than a blade of grass, to say I'm an animal will be a compliment. But I am able to say, Name viduhu suragana partha, that even the sages and the demigods, they do not know Krishna. That is not indicative of my position. It shows Lord Chaitanya's mercy and how bona fide is Srila Prabhupada, that we are able to also say it. And those, so it's who is speaking? It's okay. Ask him not to speak. Foolish fellow. Thank you. So, this is there. This is there, you know. Even if I just simply tell you just a phrase, quantum measurement problem. Suppose I just tell you that phrase, and you memorize it, quantum measurement problem. And you go to IIT and you tell there in the physics department, oh, I'm interested in quantum measurement problem. They'll immediately think you're a highly educated person. How can you know even this phrase? I remember there was one mathematician, he had from BARC, and he had written a letter to Prabhupada also. And Prabhupada replied to him. And later he was coming to BI. One day I asked him some topic. I've been trying to, this was back in the 80s. I am trying to understand this exotic manifolds. I can't understand at all. He said, oh, even if you have heard this name, I respect you. He said, how? He said, how is it that you know that? I said, I can't understand one word of that. No, that is not important. At least you know this. So, in this way, we know the name of Krishna. And even if you simply know the name of Krishna, it is something great. The Vaikuntha-vasis, if they are going by and they hear us speak, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Name Vidu Suragana Partha, they'll say, whoa, from where did they learn this? They are not going to think that we're, they'll say from somewhere here. I remember taking one American professor and his wife for a tour of temples in South India. Then we were waiting in Chennai for one temple, Vishnu temple, the curtain to open. And then I was telling them that when the curtain opens, you will see the Lord, but you are supposed to see first the lotus feet, and then you have to slowly see up to the face. You can't directly, immediately see. That's the proper way to see the deities. I was just saying things. And then the curtain opened and we took darshan of the deities, and then I was coming away. Then an elderly Sri Vaishnava Pujari was coming. He's about 85 years old. And I was telling this American professor and his wife in English. So when I was going, then he stopped and told me in Tamil that, and of course I didn't know that particular South Indian Sri Vaishnava Paribhasha. He said, oh, from whom have you heard the Kalakshepam? Meaning Harikatha. From whom have you heard? He asked me in Tamil. I said, from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Then he said, whomever you have heard from, he has taught you well, he said. And he just walked away. And he was more than 85 years old, and this was again many, many decades ago. See, so that is the power of spiritual knowledge. So we must be very conscious of it. What is the position that we have been put in? But for that we should not foolishly think. Well, at least I should not foolishly think. And because of this, I have become spiritual leader. Because in the material world also there is a tradition of spiritual leaders. And ultimately it has no value. Because they are also ignorant and the listeners are also ignorant. We cannot create a similar situation where the speaker is ignorant and the listener is also ignorant, just merely because we are speaking something from Shastra. But to be very careful. Otherwise we will become just nothing. So like I said last time, this has to be heard again and again. We are no more a preaching movement than a pen is a writing instrument. The fact that pen is a writing instrument doesn't mean it can write some big novels. No. Pen is a writing instrument because an author can write with the pen. So we are preaching movement not because we are preachers. And if we think like that, then we'll become a mundane organization, which we are pretty close to becoming already. We are a preaching movement in the sense that we have come and offered our lives So that the real preachers, His Divine Grace, I see Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and Sri Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, they can preach and use us. And just as a pen does not know what is being written with, we should not know how we are being used. In real bhakti, that is how it is. I'm doing scientific work, but I have no idea where it will end. I hope you understand the point. So you have to visualize, this is Bhagavatam, it's just exactly the same thing. We are sitting in front of the Lord and we are speaking about the Lord, but we do not know, we should know that. But we are speaking, isn't it? I give the example, just like the child is suddenly she'll ask, where is daddy? The mother will tell the child, daddy has gone to office, let's say. Then afterwards somebody at 10 o'clock comes and he says, where is your daddy? And the child will say, daddy gone office. He does not know what going to office means. He doesn't know that father has got some particular qualifications. He has got a job, he'll get salary. He doesn't know all those things. But he'll simply say, daddy has gone to office. Like that I'm saying, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Prabhupada has said Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The mother is pleased. Suppose the child said, I don't know. The mother might still pleased, but she might think, but I told the child, father has gone to office, child could have repeated it. But when the child repeats, the mother is very pleased. Oh, it's very nice. So the mother is pleased when the child is repeating, but the child doesn't know what it's saying, the mother knows. Like that, we can please Srila Prabhupada by repeating what he is saying, but we must know that we don't know, but he knows and he is pleased. So he is the one who knows what I am saying, not me. I am not the great speaker of Bhagavatam. This is what must be our consciousness. That is called the beginning of Krishna consciousness. If you think that I have studied Bhagavatam, I know a little bit about Bhagavatam, whatever little bit I know, I will repeat. Prabhupada said, you just repeat what I have said, then you can also be Guru. That is also there. That is there in the material world, is there. That is the Vedic tradition. That is a religion. In every religion there are preachers. That will go on. So this Krishna consciousness movement is meant for lifting all of us instantly to the spiritual world. Wow! Everybody, anybody and everybody. It's a very powerful movement that has been created. We should not make it into a mundane religious group. Generally people are thinking in ISKCON that Prabhupada came and set up ISKCON, ISKCON will deliver the world. It's nonsense. Prabhupada has come and set up ISKCON so that we can all become instruments. We can offer our lives so that they can actually use us and preach. Sorry for using strong words, but it's important. You see? Normally, Vaishnavas respect demigods. We love the demigods. And the demigods love us. There is Lord Shiva sitting there. If you go behind, Lord Shiva is sitting there in his murti form. Before the temple was built, he came and sat there. He said, "Oh, I don't want to miss. Every day I want to have darshan of Radha Right there, he's there. And we offer obeisances. Lord Shiva says in Bhagavatam, I am more happy to see the devotees of Vishnu than my own devotees. He says that, Bhagavatam. Because my devotees, they are always for something. Sometimes they try to also harm me. But with devotees of Hare, I can discuss about Hare. When Narada Muni enters in the material world, travel, the first place he goes is Shivaloka. He goes and sits. Haribol, how are you? Oh, Narada, come, and Shiva and Narada sit and talk. They are very close friends. They discuss, they exchange. Lord Shiva is one of the Mahajanas. Mahajana ena gata sapanta. Like that. Isn't it? So Lord Shiva is always friendly with devotees. But anyway, why was I saying that? I don't know. Now I've forgotten this. What was I saying? Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavas respect and love demigods, and demigods respect and love Vaishnavas. Thank you. Still, for the sake of preaching, when people have misunderstood in the material world the demigods are also God or greater than God, they misunderstood. Then they have to tell, no, demigods are nothing. Therefore, I was speaking last time. King Kulasekara says, Shudra Rudra Pitamaha Prabhritaya Kita Samasta Asura Drishte Yatra Satavako Vijayate Duma Vaduta Vadihi. Shudra Rudra Pitamaha. Rudra and Pitamaha, Shiva and Brahma are Shudra, are insignificant servants. Kita samasta asuraha. Kita means insect. And Indra and left is all insect. Why is he saying like that? Because it has to be said. Like that, we have to say. We should not become a nonsense. But everybody cannot say, only King Kulasekara can say. And I don't know whether I can say this, but I say. No, only Prabhupada knows whether it's okay or not. You see, you follow. So the great sages were themselves inside a dream. Although they are talking about a dream, they are in the dream. We are in the dream. Because when we go outside, we don't see the spiritual world. Therefore, we are in the material world and Krishna has come into this world. Krishna has brought his movement. Krishna has brought Prabhupada. So the great sages and we are all in a dream state. Very difficult to understand. Although the example of the dream is given, it is many levels of illusion are there. Very many levels. To come out of that is very difficult. So the sages, they are saying, but we will see later that Nanda Maharaj and others, Nanda Maharaj is also asking the sages, what is the goal of life? How can one get out of karma? That answer is already given by Krishna and karma, how to get out of karma. Isn't it? Ajñātāt karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So that is the answer the sages should have given. Nanda Maharaj is asking, how can people get out of karmic bondage? Oh, you just work for yajna. Instead they said you have to do yajna. You'll see that. you have to do sacrifices. That way you can come out of karma. But Nanda Maharaj knows already. He is a pure devotee, he is a liberated person. Still he is. It's a very beautiful thing. I don't want to say too many things about it, because I am not qualified. So our position is nothing, but still this is Bhagavatam. So Nanda Maharaj was actually asking them and giving an example. So the sages are recognized, they are sages because they have understood that we are in illusion and we should transcend it, and that's the goal, and they have dedicated their lives. Therefore they are called sages, rishis. They are respected by Krishna. Just like a producer, a movie director makes a movie, but so let's say the kings are there and king court is there, and the director also might come in one scene as one of the fellows in the court, but he's the director. So Krishna also presents himself as an ordinary human being and he is questioning them, but he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Isn't it? You will see that Narada Muni interjects and tells the sages, well, don't be bewildered by these questions. Neither Krishna is an ordinary person, nor is not a baby, and nor Vasudeva is, Nanda Maharaj is, like that. And saying, Vasudeva is, the Supreme Person. So, Prabhupada writes in Bhagavatam that those who are conditioned must first of all understand how the material creation works. Then they can try to understand how the internal energy works. So all the things that in Bhagavatam you will see in every canto this is going on. Even 11th to 10th canto we have come, this is being discussed. How the material world is a dream state. So I gave the example last time that, when you watch a movie, of course it's not a movie, it's a movie inside a movie inside a movie, it's unlimitedly is there. There is no limit to the number of loops we have gone inside material creation. Therefore Narada Muni describes in the 5th canto that every one of us in the material world, we are like actually a Vainik, a merchant guy who goes inside the forest to get some wood initially and sell money. But once he goes inside, he says, oh, this is nice, oh, that is nice, that is nice. He goes deep, deep inside. He got into the forest. He can no longer come out. It's lost. So like that, every living entity has gone deep inside the material creation. And this material creation is very, 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 very deeply made by Krishna. Even Brahma cannot understand. Even the sages cannot understand. What is our position? So, nobody knows. Therefore, Krishna says, if you surrender to me, then you can come out. Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratteya mameva yo prabhattante maya metam tarantite. If you surrender to me, then you can come to me. Why does he say surrender? That's another deep topic. Because the living entity has come inside the material creation with great confidence. Because in the liberated state, he is liberated. So from the outside, he's thinking, no, that's fine. I'll go and enjoy, like you go to a movie and I'll enjoy like that. And he goes inside the material creation, he's gone. And because the original enjoying tendency is there. Whereas in the spiritual world, all this has to be revealed in the heart. There is no way you can just read or just hear from foolish people and then know these things. Divyagyan hriday prakashito. So, then how are we to understand? The example of movie and all can be given, but you can't get out of the movie theatre, because if you get out of this movie theatre, you go to another movie theatre. There's only movie theatre after movie theatre after movie theatre. There's no way you can get out this movie theatre. Impossible. Krishna has said, Daivi Hiyasha Gunamayi Mamaya. He has certified. He said it's very difficult to overcome. He should have said impossible, but he said difficult because there's one way out. Mameva yo prabhatyante. Those who surrender to me can come. Therefore, he cannot say it's impossible. Otherwise, it's impossible. There is no limit to the number of movie theatres. So this example is a little misleading. Simply given. But what is exactly the situation? What is the nature of the movie? I explained. For that you have to actually learn the Siddhanta. In the Siddhanta last time I explained, right? How many of you did not come to the last class that I gave 2 Sundays ago or 3 Sundays ago? Those who did not come. Those who came for the Sunday class, put your hands up. What now? Some people are not coming, some people are coming. What happened to the rest? They don't even answer the question. Let's again ask, how many of you have attended that last Sunday class I gave? Put your hand up. How many of you did not attend the class? Put your hand up, everybody who did not attend. Oh. So, I was explaining, so this movie example will not do. It will not, it will make you understand what is Maya. 8:55 time? 8:52. I mean, last time I went very long, I don't want to do that. But anyway. Because this Maya cannot be removed by knowledge. Try to understand that point. The idea that, if you see the rope as a snake, it's an illusion, is wrong example. I mean, it's okay for the purpose for which it was given, because once you see the rope as a snake, but somebody told you that's actually a rope, and you went and saw it, oh, it's only a rope. Again, you will not see it as rope, a snake. You know that it's a rope. But this Maya, no matter how many times you are told it's Maya, you will still see it as real. Therefore, Bhagavatam in the very first verse is giving the example of the water seen on land. That is in desert. Prabhupada explains in the purport that when the sun is hot and then the light is refracted, blah, 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 then you see actually water. There is no water. And even if you go near there and you saw there is no water, and you'll come back and look again, you'll see water. There's no way you can avoid that. Maya is like that. Even if you learnt it is Maya, you will still be in Maya. That is therefore Daivihi Esha Gunamayi. And this is only a simple example. But Maya is very, very... You can speak whatever you want, you will be in Maya. Therefore, do not think that by giving big classes you can come out of Maya. Pravachanena na labhyate ayam atma. That says, Upanishads are saying that. By doing pravachan, you cannot actually understand the Atma. Then how? Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana. Then you must hear about Krishna from those who know Krishna and from those who don't know Krishna but who say, I don't know Krishna. At least that much must be there. Not from those who don't know Krishna but think they know Krishna. No. That's also good, but not Very good, because we want to get out in this life and go. So I gave the example last time, then I gave the distinction between experience and reality. It's so important, I will repeat it again because many of you did not come. And even for those who came, it's not so easy. You see? Are you following what I'm saying? I'm just like aeroplane, that has to go very, very, very fast for a long time before it can fly. Like that it is. I've been on the ground only now. Take off. Now only I'm beginning to take off and it's already 9 o'clock. So, this is so important, even if last time you heard, I can repeat again. I am repeating this to myself for so long. You must learn as soon as you come inside the moment. That's it. So, experience and reality. One devotee was speaking to me and he said, experience is what we like and we don't like. No. I think what he meant to say is that experience is, our pain and pleasure maybe. That's experience. But that's not the only thing that's experience. Pain and pleasure is experience at the level of mind. Objects are also experiences. Objects are also experience. So in the modern times, the movie example is more easy, but dream example. So in the movie example, you see an object on the screen. That's an experience. There is no object there. Similarly, and so how do you see there is an object? Oh, a man is running. There is a shape, and for that shape you give a name, man. Nama and Rupa. That is what the sages are saying. There is only, you are seeing various shapes. Akasha Pushpam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said that the cloud is shaped like a flower and you think it's a flower. Something is shaped like a moon and you think it's a moon. This world is like that. This is meant for those who want to become more than rishis. You want to become a devotee. This is Bhagavatam. So, everything is your experience and your private experience. In the movie theater, many people are sitting, I said, everybody is watching, everybody is having the movie privately. There is no public movie. But you can speak to another person about the movie. Oh, did you see that person run? But that doesn't mean what you saw and what he saw is the same. He has got his experience, you have got your experience. By language, you can actually intersubjectively communicate. So language has a very important role to play. You have to learn all of this. So there was actually a philosopher by the name René Descartes, 500 years ago during Lord Chaitanya's time. And he actually in the West brought this philosophy for the first time. That there is a difference between our experience and reality. That is a separate topic. I'm not giving a lecture on René Descartes. But René Descartes was also a big mathematician. Your x-axis, y-axis, all that he invented. He invented. He was a pure mathematician of top order. And also a great philosopher. He is considered the father of modern philosophy. So he brought up this philosophy in the West that what you are having is only an experience and you don't know what is reality. Simply by thought process. And of course, he also said that God came to me in my dream and told me to write this. So they are also empowered people. They are not fools. So, every one of us is having a private experience. You should know that. Although for practical purposes, we don't worry about this. We don't think that Santa Cruz is my private experience. We go, we preach, and that's all fine. But if you want to progress, you have to learn this. That's what Bhagavatam is saying, the world is an illusion. That's what the first verse of Bhagavatam says in first canto. It's also saying the same thing in 10th canto. Imagine how important it is. Throughout the 10 cantos this is said. It's all there. Anyway, it's very, very important. So, what we are doing right now is that, so there is experience and there is reality. Prabhupada repeated this many, many times. He has said everything. So he also gave the example that when you see the sun, it seems like a small thing. That's your experience. In reality, the sun is very big. Therefore, the sun you see is not the sun that you see. There is a sun there, assume it. But Immanuel Kant, he was another German philosopher. He came after Descartes. He was a little bit more careful. He said what is out there is not the sun or table or chair. He called it as Ding on Zik, the thing in itself. He was a realist. It's all, people have talked about it. You cannot know. Do you have to know all of these things to know Bhagavatam? No, but if you know Bhagavatam, you should know. So either you should through Bhagavatam know this, or you should know this and understand Bhagavatam. But if you simply read Bhagavatam on his own and speculate, that's nonsense, and don't cheat. Don't cheat, don't speak nonsense. Oh, Prabhupada never said all these things. No, it is all there. Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad-gita, Matra sparshasya kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkata. He put sitoshna just to confuse you, because the envious people, they should get confused. Bhagavad-gita is meant to confuse you a lot. And if you are very sincere, then you can read Bhagavad-gita as it is. So you have mastered Bhagavad-gita, isn't it? Oh, of course. Very great. You go and preach and waiting to become guru. I don't want to get into that mood. Then I'll blast everybody. So let me not go there. So come back, Rasaraj. So what was I saying now? Something, last point. Bhagavad-gita. So don't say that this is not there in Bhagavad-gita. Why did Krishna say everything is a perception? Matra sparshasya kaunteya. Prabhupada in one Bhagavad-gita lecture says, if you heard, he says that generally people go to sadhus and say, I've got so much trouble, please, release me, please bless me so that my son is not having this, that I'm suffering from this, that. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he did not say, I will save you from all the dualities of the material world. He simply said, Tam titiksha bharata, you please learn to tolerate. Why should Krishna say that? Because it's not real. It's not real. If it was real, he can remove it for you, but it is imaginary. So he says that if you worship me to get rid of your material problems, I will give, but that is mundane. But if you worship me to come to me, then I say you just tolerate that. Then I will take you in such a way that you'll come out of it. I guarantee you that. What is that guarantee? He says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vrajaya aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshesha. The result of sinful activity is that we believe this dream to be real, this experience to be real. So the first stage of believing the experience to be real is, you think that I see a table because there is a table. I see a car because there is a car. That entire thing you have to learn. It is. How can we then do that? How can I think it's an illusion? That's you have to hear. Slowly, slowly things will happen. But there's one more thing that you have to do, but you are not doing. That is the problem in ISKCON. You have gone completely off the track. So whatever I say, it will not have help. People are saying, somebody said that Prabhuji, you gave last class and everybody is saying, why is Rasaraj Prabhu saying there is a reality different from chair? How can we see a chair if there is no chair? What do you mean by how can you see a chair? In a movie, you see a chair and there is no chair. How do you see? So Krishna has brought movies and virtual reality and cell phone and everything so that in Kali Yuga you can learn what is the difference between perception and reality. So what the sages are saying as dream is what is actually you are having. But in that dream what happens is there is a real world, like there is a real movie theatre, and that theatre is giving rise to a movie, and you are seeing the movie and you have forgotten the theatre. Therefore the sages are saying that by illusion, they perceive only the names and forms and they cannot see you. So one who is seeing the forms and names and looking at the movie, he cannot see the theatre. But Prabhupada enters the theatre, he is not come to see the movie. He can see everybody. Oh, there is a theatre, there is a movie going on. All these rascals, they are watching the movie. They are completely lost. He is not one amongst us. Gurushu naramatihi. The person who comes, enters the movie theatre and saying, where is my seat to sit down? He cannot be Guru. Imagine Prabhupada, that is why he has come to the material. That is why it's called Appearance Day. So Srila Prabhupada, when he is talking to us, this movie is even more difficult anyway. I don't want to get into too much discussion about it. So try to understand this point, take it home, that I am in complete illusion. Om ajnanatimurandasya. Jnananjana. So that jnana in the beginning is when you read the books, then anyways, Puracharyas, we have lost the way. Nobody is teaching. All fools are reading and then they come to thing and then continue to read and now they are senior, they will preach. This nonsense is going on. We are talking about distribution of books, but Prabhupada wrote in the book in Bhagavad-gita preface, if one person becomes a devotee, I will be satisfied. Why did he write that? He said, if you want to please me, write a book, distribute the books, millions and millions. And then he is saying 1%. There is a great distance. The books is the starting point. The book is also the ending point, but in between there are many, many things we have to do. I'm not even starting the actual thing, I'm just giving little, it's like a trailer movie. So, our mistake is that we are believing our experience to be reality, whereas our experience is experience of reality. And that reality can be understood at many levels. It can be understood as this experienced world, which is only your experience, it's private. Then there is a material world, Bhumi is there, Bhuloka. Then there is another movie, Gandharva-loka, Kinna-loka, Andha-loka, in this loka, that loka, then Indra-loka, Chandra-loka, then Brahma-loka, it's all movies. Beyond that, the reality begins with Brahman, then Vaikuntha, and then it's all the same. The same experience can be made better and better and better. So the same world, same place, same senses, you can see reality. Up to Goloka. That is why Goloka is here. How are you able to see Lord Chaitanya? He is in Goloka. We cannot normally see him. It is possible. Therefore, the temple is the proof that with these very senses you can actually perceive reality. So you should learn, you should become eager to see reality. Tattvadrik, Tattvadarshi. We are Tattvadarshi by luck, because Krishna has come, we are seeing the Tattva. But when you go outside, I don't see Krishna everywhere. Lord Chaitanya sees Krishna everywhere. And when he is not there, he is very much disturbed. We are not like that. For him, sunyaitam jagat sarvam. So we have to come to the platform of seeing Krishna everywhere. Yo mam sarvatra sada pashyati. He who sees me all the time everywhere. Tasyaham sulabham partha. He can actually. So even when you go outside everywhere, if you see this is, okay, I'm preaching, I'm taking this as real, I'm not going to be. But at the same time, I want to really purify my senses. I want to see the theatre, at least first. Then outside the theatre, I have to go to the city. Then in the city, I have to go home. And to go home, I have to take a bus like that. There are many levels of reality. We have to travel up, 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 up. If you don't even know that, then we will get caught by material. Suppose you say, no, I'm only preaching, I'm just practicing, I'll just, whatever little I know, I'll preach, and I'll chant Hare Krishna, and I'll try to follow the regular principles. I have full faith, I'll go back to Godhead. Well, you may say that, but you'll become guru. You won't go back to Godhead. You will become temple commander, you will become, great preacher. I have got my own, whatever you call it, congregation. Everybody, I'm preaching, I'm saving souls. You are yourself so. So one who does not know that the experience I'm seeing is not the reality, he is blind, he cannot lead the blind. Then it becomes blind leading the blind. Andayata upaniyamana. So we should not, so this verse is not an ordinary verse. The sages are saying, but we have to understand it as devotees. There's so much is involved. I mean, I've just begun. Any questions or comments? Yes. Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu ko hota hai na?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The way you're telling that that rope example you gave, that once you are told that this is rope, further there is no confusion. But then this Maya, it's very difficult that repeatedly you get into...
Like water in the desert, you'll keep on seeing it.
So then it becomes like a hopeless situation.
That it becomes?
It becomes like a hopeless situation.
No. How it is hopeless? This is being said. Suppose you go to your doctor and you are thinking you are okay. Then you go to the doctor says, what happened? Everything is okay, but just last 2 days I've been coughing just a little bit, that's all, nothing important, everything is fine. Just. And then deep breathe, out. And then he says, okay, you have got something in the lungs, problem. Oh, it's hopeless now. No, why hopeless? It has been diagnosed. You'll be given medicine. You'll be okay. So the fact that Shastras are describing this is the hope. They're diagnosing our problem. So we should take it seriously. Am I making sense or no? Huh? It is hopeless. Okay, in one sense it's hopeless, which is that if we cannot actually by our own ability come out of it, yes, that is called Markata Nyaya. The monkey is holding by its own, the Mayavadis. They're hopeless. They don't get the Vimukta-maniness. But we have Bildi Nyaya. The cat is, if the Acharya picks us up, there's every hope. On top of it, this discussion is not really to understand our position, material world and all that. It is to show how great is Krishna. So we are happy, it's Krishna Katha. So just by hearing it also we can be happy, right? So that's all. It is not a utilitarian discussion. Does it make sense? The karmis have a word for this, separately what I said. It's called naive realism. Naive realism. Realism is the belief that there is a reality behind my experience. That's called realism. That's called theism, faith. But naive realism is the naive belief that what I see is the reality. So most everybody is a naive realist now. They believe that there is a real world. Because that's what I'm seeing. They do not know that you are seeing something that is not there in a world that is nevertheless real. Like the theater is real. So the very first level of Maya negotiation, and anyway, that, like I said, all this is to be learned, to learn that Krishna has done this. And the same Krishna will save us. So I hope my message is not hopeless. Huh? What is that?
It's hopeful.
Yeah. No, this is why it is there. Bhagavatam is saying. We have to explain it. Anybody else has any? Yes. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu Jagatpati.
So if I'm preaching to someone about Krishna consciousness and I'm still in Maya, like that, so how will someone know that he's actually practicing Krishna consciousness, like truly? Like you said that
Yeah, that's the two words.
Ready to being used is the truest form of one should be ready to be used, like as Krishna wants.
That is not possible for you because you have already made a mistake. You're doomed. That's the good news. That's already gone. ISKCON is gone. So that I'm not even that. If I say, they will throw me out. So forget that. I'm not even getting there. There is one. First of all, there is Shastra. You can study Shastra, and by common sense, you can practice and preach. That's what we are doing. That is good. But that is not the end. It's the beginning. We think it's the end. Oh, I'm joined the temple. I'm initiated. Everything. Just keep on doing this, Prabhu. That's all. Then when you die, you'll go back to God. Sorry, hello. That's not going to happen. Because I've been there before you. I've done everything that you're doing, I've done, and I never went anywhere. So I'm giving you a warning. I'm 76 years old and I'm learnt, so you can learn this, not 76 now.
So are you suggesting it's very gradual, like it's...
No, I'm not suggesting, just listen. So there is something, so Shastras is first. And hearing from the right source, second. Acharya is the third, is the second, is the first, is everything. In other words, if you have him, nothing matters. He's not a historical person. I don't want to get into all of that. You are unqualified to hear, so let me put it aside. At least say that much, because you're all, okay, anyway. So these three things are there. Now I'm only focusing on the second thing. Shastras you are already reading, common sense. The second thing I'm saying, hearing from the right source. So your question is, how can I be used in Krishna service rather than preaching? That was your...
No, my question is, how am I know, like I'm really Krishna conscious or I'm really practicing Krishna conscious?
You cannot know until you are told. You cannot know.
I cannot feel it like hungry man, like when he eats and...
If you eat.
Like
if you eat. If you are imagining you are eating, then nothing will happen. Then somebody has to tell you, Baba, आपके सामने प्लेट है, प्लेट में प्रसाद है, प्रसाद पाओ. नहीं मैं, ऐसा नहीं है भैया, ऐसा. So this is how we have misused Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada said, just like when you eat, then you feel full. Like that, I'm chanting. Oh, you're chanting. Oh, I'm trying to chant. Oh, you're chanting all the time. No, not all the time. Oh, you're chanting 16 hours. Sometimes. So nothing is followed. But we think I'm eating, I should taste. Is this reasonable? So try to be self-critical. You always think, I'm not following. Correct? Why is it that you are saying that, no, I'm eating, I should feel the effect? You are not eating. Why don't you think like that? That's called humility. Correct? I always think like that. That's why I always say I'm nobody. It's a fact. It's a fact. I don't have to say that. Believe me, if I speak Bhagavad-gita, it's very difficult for ordinary people to know that I don't know anything. Isn't it? I'm a pretty good preacher. Okay, whatever everybody is preaching, I can also preach better also. Then, never forget our position. Srila Prabhupada writes in Teachings of Lord Kapila, the members of the Krishna consciousness movement should never forget their sinful past. So I cannot forget my sinful past. I cannot forget my sinful present. I cannot forget my sinful future. Now, why should I be so puffed up? So you have to first of all recognize that you have read the book and you are practicing to whatever extent you think you have understood that thing. But someone who knows more has to come and help you. That's called sadhu, not guru. That is why it is said, Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. And who is sadhu? Apichet Sudharacharo Bhajate Ma Mananya Bhak Sadhu Seva. No. You don't know anything, but you are cheating yourself and others. So don't wave your hand. Keep the hand like that. Just listen. I know. Yeah. Apichet Sudharacharo Bhajate Ma. Yeah, Ananya Bhak. Sadhu Seva Samantavya. No. That will go jaga. So keep the hand here, keep it like this, that's even better. Oh, amount of arrogance we have got by reading Prabhupada's books is just incredible. Kya Sundar Chaitanya? No. This is a great thing. Sadhu just, it's not, Krishna is certifying that even if somebody is sinful, but he loves my devotee, singular, not plural. Anyway, so they are sadhus. Amongst the sadhus, there is a gradation. Every sadhu is not the same. And a sadhu who thinks he has become a guru, he has stopped his progress. खोल के बताता हूँ बस. So don't think that you will become advanced when you become sannyasi, you will become guru. You have to become a devotee. Rest is all fluff. Like one devotee was saying, so I was telling him, the only purpose of life is to chant Hare Krishna 24/7. Because we cannot do it, Prabhupada has given this life. Oh, then what is all these things that, okay, that will help you to become chant 24/7. It won't. I told him, it won't. Why? He said, what is your age? 69. And has it helped? No. Then you can go through your whole life doing this, nothing will happen. Bahukoti Kale, Chaitanya Sir. So what is each step you have to know to make progress? It's not automatic. Progress is not automatic. So you have to become greatly desirous for it. Is so many things are there. We have only begun, that should be told. But we are thinking we have ended. Has anyone told you that This is only the beginning process. There are many, many things you don't know.
It is obvious.
Huh?
It is obvious.
No. It's not obvious. That's nonsense. That means you are somebody very great. If it is obvious, you don't need Shastra.
It is obvious that it is a beginning because...
No. You are an idiot. Sorry to say that. Sorry to say that. I'm not talking about... That means you are not listening. I'm not talking about your life in the beginning stage of bhakti. I'm not talking about... No. That's not what I'm saying. There are many, many steps that you do not know that you have to practice. Not that you keep on practicing this, it will happen. Are you following? But you said it's obvious. If it's all obvious, there is no need for Shastra, no? Anyway, that I should have stopped the class. You foolishly asked a question, and now I have to answer. And I have to blast you. There is no other way. There is no way spiritual knowledge can be imparted without saying you're a fool. Please forgive me, but that's the way Krishna has told Arjuna. You're a fool. There is no other way. That's why you avoid all that in the class, you finish it. Because who likes to be told you're a fool? Everybody wants to be told you're great. But I have learnt all this, I have said, but no, anyway, so you to learn how to progress is a great blessing. Many, many things have to be done, one of which you have not been taught at all. I'm just telling you, by guarantee you do not know. By guarantee you do not know. The only thing that will save you that you have not been taught. 100%, not only you, everybody here in ISKCON. I don't know why. Are you following? So why do you say it's obvious? You don't know. What is it that you have not been taught? You follow? Please kindly consider that fact. If you do not know that, how is it obvious to you? Now, I could be wrong. That's a different matter. But I'm not a fool to sit here and say that openly. No, that much confidence I have. Rather, I'm not saying it, I'm holding it back. There are things that you know you should be taught as soon as you read the books and start the process. That has not been taught. Are you following? Huh?
Can you repeat that?
No, I'm not going to say that. That's the secret, Rajaguhyam. You have to beg. You have to be desirous. You have to want to know. That is all not there. What can I do? I cannot do anything. But at least I'm saying, please. Any other question? Otherwise we'll stop.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is a statement, just clear it. If I'm in illusion, if I say that I've studied Bhagavad-gita and I know something about it, but Krishna will say, you have removed the ignorance, what about the illusion?
Remove the?
Because of reading, I think I am now out of ignorance. But what ignorance is bought ignorance takes place from illusion, no?
Ignorance is?
Ignorance means ignorance arises from illusion, no?
What is your question? Just ask the question.
My question is, I am asking it to myself.
Yeah, what are you asking?
That ignorance is...
Hold it properly, the mic.
Ignorance comes from illusion.
Ignorance?
Comes from illusion. Like darkness.
No, you have to define these words. What is ignorance? Everything has to be defined.
No, suppose if I say I've read Bhagavad Gita, but Krishna still says, have you understood Bhagavad Gita? If you have read.
Why would Krishna tell you anything? Who are you?
No, means I'm thinking like that.
That is your mind.
Acha.
No, that's okay. You're thinking, that is good. That's humble, that's good. But I don't know what is it connected to my class and what is your question. Okay, you're thinking like that, that is all right, that's fine. If you feel, you're saying that you're feeling that I may read Bhagavad Gita and I may think I know, but I also feel Krishna will say, have you understood?
Yes.
Right?
Because illusion is not removed. Ignorance is removed. I think, I means I read Bhagavad Gita, means I will think I understood this shloka. But
what is your question? Okay, you're thinking like that, but what is your question?
how Krishna will help me?
That you ask. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी